Do you think I'm going to suck up the design by osmosis?
You might.
This episode of Boing Boing is made possible by WePC.com.
Hey, this is Joel Johnson and Jon Brownlee from Boing Boing, and we got two things we really got to check out. It's the first full official day of the show floor opening out CES, so we're going to go to a VIP. What is it?
It's the Palm Pre. We haven't figured this out yet. Yeah.
The new Palm phone, which looks really hot, so we're going to go check that out, and then we're going to go wander around the show floor. So
come on in with us.
Yeah, let's do it. Got the new phone out, and we're going to see it, and you don't know anything about it. You haven't even read any of the stuff yet, have you?
No, I haven't. Like, alone amongst the Boing Boing Gadget editors, like, I am, like, in the dark, so this will be my virgin, like, hymen-breaking experience.
How do you say an E with the thing? Is that a long E?
I don't know, it's like an E with an accent aigu, or circumflex, or...
So is it
drop.
pre? Would it be a pre? A pre. It's got to be pre, right?
Know.
What is this thing called?
You like this? This is called a pre.
A pre.
Yeah.
Okay,
We're supposed to ignore the accent.
That's what. No, that is the right accent, isn't it?
Oh, that's the accent.
The long E is the thing.
Pre.
We're writers. Can you tell?
So you're supposed to let me hold it, but that's
Well,
fine.
Sorry, we're going to have to let Pam handle the device.
She's getting so...
Are you serious? Why does that matter?
Well, it matters because it's not available yet, and it's the first time we're introducing it, and we're just gonna...
Do you think I'm going to suck up the design by osmosis?
Might.
Well, still, I just want to heft it real quick. I promise. No, okay. All right.
The idea is instant gratification. I see something, I touch it, and it launches.
That is a really pretty interface.
Isn't it?
All right. So brand new OS.
Brand new from the ground up.
Linux-based, or is it?
Underneath the hood,
It
but
is Linux?
from a developer perspective, it's really a web development model. Everything is based on SQLite.
Okay.
And that data will be available to developers, so they'll be able to plug into the core applications that we deliver on the platform.
And is there kind of like a user interface guide that like a lot of the developers are going to have to adhere to, or prefer to adhere to?
We'll deliver a framework and an IDE, a plugin to Eclipse, along with the SDK that developers will use, and that will provide them with the system widgets.
Okay.
And is Palm going to maintain control over the distribution of...
We'll provide a vehicle for distribution,
Okay.
an on-device vehicle for distribution that will allow people to deliver applications over the air. We have Facebook. It's smart about that. If you
And it's dynamically updating. So if somebody changes their Facebook information and stuff, like it'll just slurp
they
in
change
the
our
new
picture.
contact
It's going to
information.
pull a new picture
Oh, cool.
in and put it right in here. Whatever you have as your default will be the picture that shows up on the top level of this.
Now, how would this work? You don't have an on-screen keyboard, so if you're doing landscape mode in email or web browsing, or what's the expectation of how the users?
Right now, it's
that?
the media applications that take advantage of the accelerometer. Over time, we'll probably extend that, but right now, it's just media applications.
Sounds like the use case is the presumption that if you're going to use a keyboard, you're going to go back into portrait mode and
the
use
assumption is that you're most likely going to want to just use the keyboard as is for doing those kinds of things.
So you got multi-touch gestures. It's fine. How did you not like? If Apple said they'd patented all the multi-touch gestures, which multi-touch? How are you not going to be sued by Apple?
We're very confident that what we've done is well within the bounds of what we need to be able to deliver it to end users.
Okay, fair enough. WebKit-based browser.
This is WebKit.
You know stuff.
I do
like
know
interviewing
stuff.
You. You know the answers. That's very good. What is? Give us the highlights as far as there's no price yet, right?
No
to
price.
be determined.
That's going to come later.
All right.
And we said first half of 2009. Well,
Sprint only to begin with, and then you'll
will be
talk to other.
exclusive to Sprint in the U.S.
Okay.
And we'll go forward from there.
All right, cool. Well, it looks pretty nice.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Yeah, we're really excited.
The The internet culture we're all part of wouldn't be possible without the evolution of personal computers. ASUS and Intel want to hear your ideas for what's next. Come join us in making the world's first community-designed laptop at wepc.com.
Turn off the camera, boys.
You all have to be drinking Sierra Nevada meat bun?
I know who Judas Priest is.
Call him meat bun.
Yes, you do.
We're actually here with Jon Stokes from Ars Technica.
Hello.
A once fellow FM partner now. Gone to the Kanye Nass in the sky, but we still like him. So, you just saw the pre 2. I'm going to keep doing that. What do you think? What's your first impression?
I thought it was pretty nice. I mean, I liked, as the demo kind of went on, I thought, well, this is pretty iPhone-like, and it seemed to do a lot of things the iPhone does, but then it did some of them better. Like, I thought the calendar was better. I thought the mail app was a lot better.
This was the first presentation you've been at since the iPhone launched that kind of made your iPhone feel a little old and busted.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I think that, there's been some iPhone rip-off devices that have come out since the iPhone kind of sort of changed the way everybody thought about how to do a smartphone, but this is the first non-iPhone rip-off iPhone-like device, if that makes any sense. It's like they took what Apple did right on the iPhone and they just sort of stole that, and then they made the rest better.
There's a big once healthy Palm development community, and we were kind of asking, it's like, well, is there stuff going to still be in an emulated mode, or are they going to run it in a virtual machine? And they're kind of like, no, we're going to bring all the new guys up to speed with the Linux-based stuff and the web-based technologies, which is good.
Well, her answer was brilliant because she then said, but if somebody wants to port over an emulator, like she offset the whole concept of, backwards compatibility upon the user community, which is fantastic.
The other thing that I was really surprised by is it's pretty. Like the OS, like all the animations and all of that stuff, like it should be gaudy and it's not. Like it looks really nice.
Right.
That's that Minority Report, like liquid sort of like pushing up kind of, interface idea, like it really does, it really does remind of something like, a lot more primitive version, but it still has that sort of like burbling and kind of like
it's
liquid.
Well, and it's like organic like everything on the iPhone is very smooth and kind of squared off and clean. And all of this new Palm interface is like kind of, it's squishy, like it kind of wants to move around a little bit. It makes me feel like Palm is a company that has enough skill to be a contender again.
I felt like they were probably kind of embarrassed that they're a Palm and smartphone company, and then Apple came out with the iPhone and totally changed the game. And they sort of had egg on their face. It's like, okay, like it took Apple to actually do this, and so now we really have to come back and deliver, because if we don't, if we just kind of reheat the same old thing, it's like sort of what's the point of the company?
The best thing in the world that can ever happen, even if you are an Apple fan, is if Apple has a really strong competitor, because Apple will act like dicks if they don't have a competitor. They'll act like dicks if they have a competitor, but if they have a competitor, they'll be forced to, not be so horrible. And now this is way better than Android, it looks like, and at least as far as an experience goes. And between Android and Palm, and maybe Windows Mobile 7, although I doubt it, there's not going to be much there. Everything's kind of cool in smartphones again.
Yeah, definitely.